Doing a little bit of model prep today at Diverse Dimensions. We're going to be on the road tomorrow heading to Elk Grove out in Chicago area to measure these castings. This is a part for a windmill, and what we need to measure on this part are all of these holes that go around the perimeter of this detail here. Notice in the CAD model though, when we pull this up, some of these cylinders or the through holes are red and some are just clear or white. What we've got are a series of dowel holes, which are this smaller diameter, and we've got a series of attachment holes that get a bolt through each one. And we've got a true position call out on the drawing for each of these holes. But what's cool about CAM2 10 is there is a feature known as smart naming or smart labeling that we can attach a name to those labels, and when we pick them in the model preparation time, that name will automatically populate and automatically increase. So since this area here, these are considered dowel holes, these red. I'll zoom out just a little bit. What I'll do is I'll go under the Home tab and under Preferences here. The other place to find the Preferences tab would be under the File tab, and then Preferences is down here. So there's two spots for it, but under Home, Preferences, all of these preferences populate here in this dialog box. But what you need to do is go under the Display and then run over here to the Smart Naming, this tab right here. And since they're going to be circles, that's where how I'd like to measure them, a circle on a defined plane. What I'm going to do here is come down to the circle feature here, and I'm going to first go and define all of my dowels. So I'll call this dowel hole, and then I'll put the pound sign, the number sign just after that. Okay, and I'll just hit OK here. Now every time I go and I want to pick from CAD my circles, what it's going to do is notice how this has already been populated. Dowel hole 1 has already been populated with that name. So I'll move this aside a little bit, and I'll just pick this dowel hole first. There, I found dowel hole 1. Grab this guy next, dowel hole 2, there's dowel hole 3. So notice how quick and easy that is, and that name gets automatically populated and it gets increased by 1. So that's cool. That's a great way to go through and prepare this model for the measurement. Let me close that out a second. But now say I want to jump in and do my attachment holes, or my screw holes. I'll run back to the Home tab, run under Preferences, and since I was just under the Display and Smart Naming, it's staying in that location. So now instead of dowel hole, let's just change that to attach hole. Attach hole with that number sign or that pound sign. And I'll start my first attach hole here. Oh, I'm sorry. What I have to do is I've got to pick it from CAD and then go to Circle. And notice that it populates here under the name again for the picking of that circle. So attach hole 1 would be him, attach hole 2 would be him, and so on. I can just run around this thing. It's so quick, and it just automatically changes the name. So that's a great enhancement from 4.0 and from X, from earlier versions where you'd have to hand key that name in. I'll close that out, and what I'll do is I'll finish preparing this model for all of those features in this model, and then when we get to belay, what we'll do is we'll just start to measure these up. And smart naming, it's a very easy way to automatically name all of those features. They're similar features, so if you've got a mess of them, there's a bunch, I think there's 66 around this perimeter here, so it just makes an easy way to name them appropriately.